Okay, so another impromptu video. Okay, I just want to reply this comment on my video, the biggest property question for 2023. Okay, I'm not saying that there's right or wrong to this comment, but I just want to give more information about it. And at the same time, I think many people may be asking the same question: is renting better than buying? Okay, to be frank, I can tell you, in the short term, yes, renting may be better. In the long term, renting is not better. Okay, so anyway, I just want to point out some of the things that he put up. Okay, firstly, I think if you talk about HDB flat, if you are buying under HDB loan at 2.6% interest, definitely I can tell you, definitely buying is more worth it. And also because of HDB loan, right, your max tenure is 25 years old. You may be paying a very high installment, but your interest is not as high because your interest is actually instead of 30 years like the private property, it became 25 years. So definitely compared to today rental situation in the whole Singapore, buying a HDB flat is better than renting a HDB flat. We are talking about flat to flat. If you're talking about you rent HDB room and you buy HDB room, then of course you buy HDB flat, then of course you talk about different in sizes, then yes, renting a HDB room is better lah. Okay, so this, I think a lot of people will have the same thought as him, as that let's say today I will be paying interest of 4.5%. Isn't it more worth it to pay rental? Okay, so I'm going to answer your question. Okay, so first of all, right, I want to give a understanding to everybody saying that today you are doing an amortization loan. Okay, amortization loan means, what is amortization loan? Amortization, okay, maybe my pronunciation is wrong, but a mortgage loan is using the amortization calculation. You can only calculate using a financial calculator. So when I was in my uni, right, I got attend uni one, okay, when I attend my uni, there's this some, I think it's statistics, very hard to pass, they need the calculator, right? So you need amortization calculation. Okay, so I give you an example. If you take a loan of 750,000, 4% interest and 30 years, okay, just for your information, your first year, okay, so anyway, I don't know whether this one they care about the date or not. Wait, oh yeah, they care about the date. Okay, so let me do a whole year one from 1st Jan, so it's more accurate. Okay, 1st Jan. Okay, so 1st Jan, your first year interest, right, will be $29,759. Okay, then it will drop to, second year it will drop to $29,221. Third year it dropped to $28,661. I mean whole year interest, okay? Then it will drop. If you pay, let's say 2022 you buy 1st Jan. Let's say you pay until 2030. 2022 is $29,759.60. 2030 is $24,788.26. Interest drop, guys. So of course, if you buy short term, the first 5 years you pay higher interest, but the last 5 years you pay lower interest. This is why I keep telling you amortization is different. And amortization, basically your mortgage loan, your interest, right, stops the day you sell your house away. So let's say you sell your house away in 5 years, you only pay 5 years interest. You don't pay the 6, 7, 8, 10 years interest. So you all have to understand, firstly, understand amortization. Okay? The next thing is, I told him that it's not true, that it's more worth it to rent. Okay? Because in the long term, firstly, like I told you, interest rate stops when the interest stops when you sell your house away. Number two, you are assuming that, we assume that property price don't change. Okay, why did I assume property price don't change? Because if I assume property price gain, right, definitely, right, I will win, because earn money, But if you assume property price drop, also not correct, what? Because by probability and by history, property price don't really drop, provided you buy a very lousy property lah. So we got to make it fair lah. Let's put it as property price don't drop. So I told him that let's take it as property price don't drop, okay, or let's say property price gain. Definitely what he suggested renting is not worth it lah, okay. And also like I told you, it's long term. Secondly, after I told him that, he tell me no, it's not true, Aaron, it's not true. Why? Because he says that if you pay 4,000 rent, basically the interest that the owner pay is 6,000. It's not true, guys. It's not true. That's why I say due to amortization, it's not true. I can tell you today, I use a calculation, okay, that I just did for my customer. The customer bought a 850,000, okay, 2-bedder. She rented out the 2-bedder for 3,200. Let me tell you, because the customer is young, he took a 30 years lease. So I can tell you that at 4% interest, the customer is paying about $3,050. Okay, it's actually $3,043 monthly. The rental that we have gotten for the client is 3,100 because we only want to accept 2 packs. If we accept 4 packs, we can get up to 3,002, 3,003. Okay. Let me tell you how much is the interest, okay, that the customer is paying per year. So per year, if you use $3,043 to calculate 12 months, the customer paid $25,295 in interest. But principal is $11,226. It doesn't mean this tenant that paid $3,200 is doing the correct move, because he could have lose $11,226 and 61 cents. You know, so it's not correct, guys. And how many property today is actually increasing, like rent, like interest is more than the rental price? It's not true. I can tell you, seriously, there is none. If you talk about installment more than rental price, then maybe. But if you talk about interest more than rental price, I think it's impossible. Provided you are very old and then your loan tenure is very short, that's why you are taking such a high interest monthly repayment. But on normal cases, whether is it 30 years, 25 years, it's very hard for interest to be more than the rental price. Guys, you must understand, we talk about interest, we're not talking about installment, okay? The rental is $3,200, the installment is $3,050, okay? But the interest is not $3,050. The interest can only be calculated in a year. My app can only calculate in a year. I think every month it will change also. My app can only tell you in a year. So in a year, okay, $3,050. Let me tell you, in a year, $3,050 is $36,600. Okay, but the interest is $25,295. You still have money that goes into principal. Okay, which you sell, you still will take back. Okay, it doesn't mean interest you sell you don't take back lah. That's provided the property price don't go up lah. Okay, understand or not? Okay, I hope you all understand that. So it's not true that renting is correct. Okay, in the long term, and also I can tell you that even if you pay MCST lah, okay, management, my customer also still earn lah if you take interest plus MCST. Okay, next, okay, if you say 1 year later, okay, please do not assume. I think in his message he also assumed that interest. Okay, first of all, I want to say I have nothing against him. I just take it as a topic for me to do video lah, correct? Okay, so next he tell me, in the event where interest drop, then you can, a lot of people may think that in the event where interest drop, then you can go back and buy again. Guys, interest drop, price will go up, demand will go up. It happens already in 2018, 2019. Only recently the interest went up. Okay, the recent 6 months to 8 months. So you cannot assume that when interest drop, then it's a good time to buy. You are correct, it's a good time to buy. Everybody thinks the same thing. So prices will go up where everybody thinks the same way. Okay, so you have to understand the property market. And also some people may think that if you take the 25% down payment, you go and put into the government bonds and bills and fixed deposit 4%, you will be earning more. I do agree. I do agree. I do agree. But if you put and then you take the money and go and rent, then I may disagree. Because you must make sure the amount of money that you put inside your fixed D, that 4% interest that you earn, is 4% interest good enough to pay your 30,000-40,000 rental. We take average lah, we take average is 30,000-40,000 rental a year. So in order, let's say you really have 4%, okay, let me tell you lah, 30, let's say 36,000 lah, we take 3,000 rental lah, not very expensive lah, okay, 36,000, you divide 0.4, you make sure you put a fixed D of 900,000. Because only a fixed D of 900,000 at 4%, you will earn back your rental 36,000. So it's also not 100% true in a way. Okay? So it doesn't make sense again. So there is a lot of things that don't make sense when I think when you are trying to come up with a conclusion whether to rent or to buy. I think to make things simple, if today you're renting a room, okay, then don't buy. Because you rent room is super cheap. There is no way buying makes sense when you rent room. That's number one. Number two, if you're taking HDB loan and you're buying HDB, please do not rent. Just go and buy your HDB. Number three, if you are very young, okay, you can get 75% loan. Please go and buy. Please don't waste your time renting. So the people that should be renting are people that maybe only want to stay in Singapore for 1-2 years. Or they 1-2 years later they maybe have other plans or whatever, they don't want to buy, or 3-4 years later they got other plans. To me, if you renting for short term, yes, it's a better decision than you buy and then think about selling 3-4 years later. Why? Because if you buy and think about selling 3-4 years later, you're in the wrong direction. You cannot always assume that 3-4 years later when you want to sell is the correct time to sell, because at that time your property may not be doing well, the market may not be doing well. So the time you sell is very important. So do not time the time to sell. Do not time the time to sell. So if you like to time the time to sell, then you go and rent. Okay? So there is too many reasons that I want to share about that. You shouldn't be renting long term and then think that renting is better than buying, provided you are renting a room or provided you are renting a very very cheap place, a very ulu studio apartment. I can only think about room and studio apartment. Why? Because today a HDB flat, 3-room flat is already around 2,000. There is no way you can think that renting is better. And also I want to say something is that, guys, do you know why the rental price is so high? It's because the property price is already at that level. If the rental price do not go up, then yes, you are correct that renting is better than buying. So this is why the rental price has to go up. Because if today the property market is not doing well and everybody goes to rent and don't buy, then there's something wrong with the market. So this is why the rental price got to go up. So to show that there's nothing wrong with the market. So when the rental price go up, it shows that it's proportionate to the property price today, and it shows that it makes sense to buy than to rent. So the people that are renting are definitely your foreigners because they are going to pay high tax. Maybe your PR because they got to pay extra 5% tax. But the people that are renting are not supposed to be Singaporean. So the way rental price is going up is I may not be correct, but I have this view and this perspective that it is because it has to be proportion to today's property price. And if today's rental price doesn't go up, then there is something wrong with our property price today. Then it means that the property price will drop. So I feel that the rental price and the property price is proportionate, something that they have to have a relationship, and the relationship is very proportionate. Okay, if it goes up, it goes up. So I don't need to make conclusion already lah. You know where I'm coming from. So I hope I clear the air, give you more information. You may not agree with me, and I also may not be correct 100%. But this is just my vision, my thought, and my perspective of how it works. If you can show me something that I'm wrong, I'm more than happy to listen to you. Of course, I cannot be as accurate as like, oh, I'll calculate and put this 4%, blah, blah, blah. We're looking at a big picture. We are looking at a whole picture, a long-term picture, because housing is never for short-term. So this is why I'm talking about, if today you are investor, then yes, maybe it's not the right time for you to buy. But today, if you need your house, you need a place to stay long-term in Singapore, then you better be buying. That is how it works. If today the rental market drop, then I'm very sure that the property price will also start to drop slowly. It's a fair equilibrium of everything. Okay? Hit the like button, subscribe button, and see you in the next episode, and bye bye.